Okay, so the other day, maybe yesterday, maybe day before, I'm not really sure when it was. That's not working, there it goes. We killed my first Kuva Lich. Now, this weapon is sitting here. I haven't gone in and looked at it. I can go in, go to claim. It doesn't tell me a thing about it. It's just there. A rocket powered. It's. They can call it whatever they want. It's the Jack Kittak. Every day. That's exactly what it is. But I came across some information that's quite interesting. And it basically comes down to this. Depending upon the frame you use to initiate the actual Kuva Lich, depends upon the elemental damage it has. For the record, this entire graph is made completely useless because the first thing in there is impact. Impact is not an element. It is a physical damage type. The rest of them are elemental though, so we'll get past that. Now, frost, cold damage. Cold damage. I initiated this with frost prying. Go back to the game. Now we will claim this. No, actually I won't. There is one more thing I want to check first before I do this, and that is if we go to universe, weapons, all the way to the bottom, to the hammer. Okay. Impact, puncture, slash. So, if half of these things that people keep telling me are true, these or this should come with an added cold proc to it. Let's find out, shall we? Claim. Oh, it's not. It's just not the same without having something there. But let's see. Equip, Kuva, probably. Oh, why is it all the way at the bottom? By name. Oh, okay, whatever. And no cold damage on it whatsoever. So that information, completely wrong. Does have nice crit to it, is pretty slow. Instantly added some kind of... Oh, there it is. The cold damage. So here, no cold damage. Equipped, there's the cold damage. The cold damage proc that we were expecting is in fact there. So that is in fact true. Yes. Okay, that's actually good because I'm busy editing that video at the moment, and I thought I'd better claim this just to kind of fact check that little bit of information. But okay, will it be any good? It has 1V, that's actually pretty good. 1 former, 2 former, 3 former, 4. Nope, 5. Yes, that is right. This is another one of those weapons, like the Paracesis, that needs 5 former to meet its max rank. All the Kuva weapons are like this. They all need to have 5 former put into them, which honestly is kind of a waste. If the Umbra former was much more obtainable, this may make more sense. Because then you throw in the 2 Umbra formers for sacrificial pressure point, even though it's just called sacrificial pressure if I remember rightly, and sacrificial steel. They are not going to be better than prime pressure point or true steel, or in this case blood rush. But you would have noticed during the former process I did try a few different combinations of everything on this. I had the dual stat elemental mods on there. I swapped that for primed fever strike because it's a prime mod, it uses more points. It gives more damage. I think it goes up to 165, mine's not maxed, only 135, whereas the normal full ones are 90, the dual stat are 60%, so shocking touch, molten impact, 90% electricity, 90% heat. Then I ended up with blast and corrosive on this. Not the best of combinations, but I found that the blast works well with the whole it's a giant hammer. It doesn't have the impact that other hammers do, but throw blood rush in there, nearly said true steel, throw blood rush in there with organ shatter and it starts to become quite useful. I didn't run Berserker, I threw Primed Fury in here just solely because, well, it makes it swing faster and it takes up more points again. thus justifying having to spend 5 former on it to meet max rank. There is no reason these should go all the way up to rank 40. If they wanted it to go to rank 40, maybe it should have been a 2 format build. So you do it twice and it goes 30, 35, then 40. Because 5 format, this thing has a total of 90 total points with Crushing Rune in there and a reactor, sorry, I keep getting them two backwards, a catalyst to double those points. Takes it from what it should be normally, that's coming out completely wrong, takes it to a max rank, as I said earlier, of 90 total capable points. I have 28 spare points in this, and I have the max rank, everything I can fit in there, apart from Prime Fever Strike, but if that was maxed, it would only be taking up an extra 1 point, meaning I would have 27 available instead of 28. There has to be something that is going to come out, maybe a Kuva specific mod for Kuva weapons that is going to take an insane amount of points, otherwise this is a waste of format. The Paracesis gains a bonus as it levels up. If I go to upgrade, yep, already swapped it to a different one, so that is the base stats of it, plus 60% damage to sentience, resets sentient damage resistance. Whereas this thing, I didn't really notice much difference from what it was to what it is after putting 5 former in it. I'm kind of glad that I didn't get the lure lens that I was after to put into the Mass Eater, because now I think I'm going to put it into this instead. I think I actually dropped one, I just didn't build it yet because I was concentrating on doing this and not doing the lure missions. Because I like the Mass Eater, it was a lot of fun, it's nice to have a new toy to play with melee weapons, and I was going to use it more. This, yeah, it does a little bit less damage, but it does a lot more crit, so I think I'll use this more. But there is no getting over the fact that the Fragor Prime exists. It may have a 0.8 attack speed, this has a 0.917, but the Fragor Prime has a 40% crit chance with a 2.5 times multiplier, putting it a little bit behind on the multiplier, but 9% ahead with the crit chance. Oh, and it also does more damage than this does, meaning that yes, this is a good hammer. It works really well, it does exactly what it's supposed to. It's slightly more puncture based than impact based, but it's still a hammer, so the impact is still pretty high. Mine did end up with, I would have preferred radiation on it if we're honest, or any other elemental combo. The cold kind of screwed me on this weapon, but it still has a pretty nice status with a 27% on there rather than the Fragor Prime's 18, and it's that made this just slightly more usable than the Fragor Prime for a lot of things. But when it comes down to the base damage and the fact that it's just slightly better because the Fragor Prime exists, the Kuva Shildeg, it's usable, it's fun, but those 5 former, probably better off throwing them in the Fragor Prime and leaving this until you actually need that extra mastery points. Tons of fun. I've always liked hammers anyway. I like hammers a lot. I miss my Helio Core. I really do. The fact it used to scan enemies and deal a nice amount of damage. This was a nice change of pace. I've been using swords way too long. But anyway, we've gone on way too long about this, so we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.